All right, let's see what we got here. Hope we can get this going without a hitch. Seems like my unit's taking its sweet time. And if that's the case, I have to go to my standby. Just bear with me a second here. Okie dokie. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me quite well. Okie dokie. All right. Anyway, my name's Anthony Gray. Welcome to another episode of Grayscale Painting Live. It's been a little while. As you can see, I got my gear back, and I would like to thank those who helped contribute to getting this thing replaced while I'm getting the other one repaired. So I do thank you very much. All right, as you see on the lower part of your screen will be the lower right hand side, the palette itself, and I have ground marker red, lemon yellow, dark blue, chalk white, and that is burnt sienna, which is just about separated itself because of the heat. All right, but that's what you're looking at down there. All right, my tablet finally decides to pull up. Let's see if I can actually get my channel going here. I know I'm gonna have to lower the volume on it. So let's see what we got happening here. YouTube has gently switched some things around, I see, but that's okay. Let's see if it'll pull it up. And as it's doing that, I am going to, you guys do not see it, but I do have vegetable glycerin. I'm going to use a little bit of glycerin here. All right. For those of you who are pretty much used to what you see when I do these, you notice that there's a camera upper right hand side that's actually facing me. That is a webcam, actually. The Epiphan webcaster can take an HDMI camera and a USB camera at the same time and do some pretty interesting things with it, which is not necessary for me because I have the other two high-def cameras plugged into a switcher. The switcher is plugged into the Epiphan. The Epiphan is plugged into the TV monitor, and obviously you guys are looking at me. Okay, it's very easy to use, and as you can see, the video quality is pretty decent. All right, so not too many people probably know that I'm on unless they get the notification. I'm just coating this with the glycerin while I'm talking to you, more or less. That's about it. And once again, we're just going to get right on to it here. All right. I think I'll add a little bit of yellow first. Why not? I guess we'll throw some of that yellow up in here like this. Doesn't matter how far I go with it, honestly. I'm gonna get the tiniest bit of red so we can get kind of a little A little hue of red going on in there. More or less all up in here, if anything. Okay. As I'm checking things out, I'm gonna tap into a little bit of, and I mean a very little bit of this brown. We'll put the brown somewhere up and around in here. So now this sienna is kind of in the red family there, so there, we'll pop some of that in there like that. But mainly up and around in here a little bit. I might even add a little bit around in this area here. Mix it in there like that. Don't be shy. Say hello. I'm gonna get a small bit of white. One, the white, it helps strengthen that yellow a little bit. Give me a little glow in there. Just where I feel it might need a little bit of pickup right there in that white. Just like that. All right. Get a very large, I'll show it to you down here. It's nothing but a large makeup brush. And what we'll do is we're just going to smooth out, get rid of the stroke lines here. And we just smooth it all out here. Just like so. Smooth it right out. This is what the glycerin does. Now the glycerin lays right on top of this paint. And that's what you see it doing right now. Be careful about really pressing into the paint. Okay. Lighter touch the better. 3 hairs and some air, as a famous Afro artist would say. Alright. I'll probably add a little more depth to this. Down here on the bottom, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm just fading it just to get the extra paint off the brush and just clean that up a little bit. There we go. Also, when you use a brush like this, using the glycerin tends to spread out when it dries. Okay, so don't worry about if you see a lot of streaks, stuff like that. Now, the glycerin, once again, it just helps. One, it makes the paint transparent. All right, makes the paint transparent and, you know, easier to manage. All right. All right. Let's take the let's take a little white, and once again start strengthening pretty much up in this area here. I'm gonna lighten up some of this. It's not really necessary, it's just to brighten up some things once I start putting extra layers of clouds or whatever in there. I'm gonna wipe off my brush. I'll just keep on fading around with this. Just like that. Take a large brush. Once again, start smoothing things out a little. The more you do stuff like this, the more you'll get accustomed to it. Okay. You make the circles as wide or as narrow as you feel you need to. Okay. Really up to you. All right. We'll start getting things a little interesting now. Get a little bit of this, brown, small touch of red. So we'll kind of mess mess around with some deep clouds here. Like I said, we'll mix that brown and red in there a little bit. All right, we'll kind of tap in some interesting things in here like this. Get back into that color. Tap in a little bit of brown, a little bit of red. Put it in there together, mix it. Not gonna let it sit around like that because I'm just tap in some interesting looking things happening there, here and there. My water has some dish soap in it. I don't necessarily need to use such a large brush for this. Maybe a smaller one would do. But I have a series of different size makeup brushes. So it's all according to what you want to do. And once again, I'll go with the circular movements here. Basically thin out that bottom edge right into the previous background there. When it gets up here, you can wave it around and stir it around and get interesting bits of value in there. Okay, and mainly I'm brushing it, blending it so that it's kind of smooth, and there we go. I'll move it around a little bit. All right, come up in here. Now, once it starts to, you'll feel it starting to dry. You can tell after a while. There we go. Like I say, mainly that bottom edge, by the yellow there, you kind of want to wave that in there. In the middle, it's okay because we're going to use other colors to start blending that stuff in there. All right. It's mainly that dark reddish brown I want to move around a little bit in there. Everything else can be smoothed out. And just smooth it out on the bottom there. Like I say, I already know what I plan to put here, so it's okay. All right, that should do. All right, let's I'll use another small. I'll shut you down here. All right. Gonna wet my brush, get most of the water out of it, dry it, shape it a little bit. Make sure you dry it pretty good. And we're gonna get a little bit of white. Now the white's gonna take up some of that color that's already in there. Okay. We'll play around with some of this up in here a little bit like that. We'll fill that up in there. And we'll pop one up in here like this. Just a little bit of white. Pop some up in here like that. Because we're going to marry some of that white red into that brownish color. Let's see how that works here. Put it right into that brown a little bit there. Some of that intensity, some of that brightness, the white you want to keep around a little bit. Just concentrate on values and all of that. Marry some of that white red into that brownish red there. Okay. around a little bit. We'll put some here, pop some up in here like that. I'm just wiping off my brush. Just get it really interesting. Like I say, some of the intensity in the middle I want to keep. We can keep that. See, just wave it around a little bit and you blend the rest in. So if you're not really familiar or you're not satisfied with your clouds, maybe this method will help you out a little. Definitely up to you how you want to design them. Let's get a little bit of red. Okay. I got a little bit of white in there, and we'll kind of play around with some of that in there like this, right up by that blue there. Wipe off my brush, and once again we'll start making interesting little wavy patterns in there. And once again we're gonna blend that red into that yellow area there. Red is a strong color, but we're gonna help blend that out and add little things to this. There we go. Just keep messing around with it. Don't worry about all of that down there. Get some more of that red, and we'll kind of play around in here, up at the top here, like that. Maybe a little bit in here. Wipe off my brush. Actually, I should wash it, but it won't be necessary. I'm looking for interesting shapes and hues of color. Marry it red into that white there. Just like that. I'm wiping off some of my paint. We're gonna smooth out the insides in there. No hard edges, try not to give them. Well, at least they're not the type of clouds I'm looking for anyway. Just like that. Smooth all that out in there. Okay. Just clean that off real fast. Well, I'm hoping you guys can hear me. But then again, nobody really knows that I'm back, really. So. It's just a dry blending brush. And I'm just put a little heavy hand in this, just blending that out a little bit more. Let's wipe it away. Very gentle blend. There. Same thing over here. You can spend so much time just doing clouds. Up to you. Let's get a little bit of brown. I'm gonna put it in that red. And a slight touch of blue in that brown. We're gonna gray it up a little. Just like that. Now when you get a grayish kind of tinge in your clouds, they tend to turn into like storm clouds a little bit. So just be careful with it. And we'll kind of caress the bottom of these like that. Maybe a little bit here. And maybe a little bit up in here like that. Just like so. Clean off my brush. And once again, this is a little narrow, So I want to kind of fade out and marry some of that into the previous color, just like that. One of my paintbrush packets just hit the floor. There we go. See, not as intense. Up to you how intense you want it. Now some of the white is mixing in with that dark color, so it kind of kills all the intensity of it. I can bring some of that darkness up into the white area of the clouds, fade it around. And you can lightly blend some of that in there. Make it very soft. Okay. There we go. Bring some of that way. Just like that. Smooth it out a little bit. Keep some of that intensity right in there. Fade this out on the bottom here, just like that. The X strokes. See, the paint's still moving around. Once you get accustomed to doing this and how it works, here, bring some of that right across that bright area there. On the rest here, you can kind of fade it out there. See that? Whatever you think is a little heavy-handed, take the side of the brush, circular motions, and fade it right out. Go in whatever direction you feel. A lot of it adds a little bit of depth and dimension into your clouds, depending on what kind of clouds you're looking for. Okay. Now, there's darkness in there, okay, but it's still overall fairly bright, okay. There we go. I think we're all right. I think that'll work. So I hope the video's not buffering, but I'm sure you'll let me know. It seems to be okay here. All right, we're gonna move right along here. All right, so we're gonna make a nice dark color here. I'll use, well, I guess I can get away with it today. We move to the palette knife here and get some of this brown. We'll make some of that blue in there. I need a deep color anyway. Right in here. Okay. Get a little bit of red. Slide that red and that brown in there together. And a little bit of blue. I'm gonna mix all that loveliness together here. Looks like I might have to put that camera in another position because you apparently you still see the back of my hand. It's a little thin. So I'm gonna thicken that up a little bit. I'm using modeling paste. I don't need too much of it, just a little bit of do. Just like that, throw it right in there like that. It just thickens up the paint. Because obviously the stores aren't open, so here. Let me see something here. a second. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's really talking to me. Nope, nobody's saying anything yet. Like I said, I really don't think they know I'm on, so. No, the modeling page just thickens up the paint. That's all. There we go. Get a nice little cut across like that. All right. Let's put it somewhere where you guys can see it there. All right. Guess we'll go maybe around in this area like that. And I'm basically just spreading out for the mountain itself. That's all. All this here can be filled in. It kind of don't matter. Okay. I think that works. I shall get a flat brush here. And we're going to just, there we go. Just blocking in the color. And we'll bring some of that down. It really doesn't matter after a certain point because I know what I'm going to put here. There. All this down here, it doesn't matter. You'll see in a second. We're going to nicely fade that bottom out there. And I'll just use the same brush. It doesn't matter. Like I say, a lot of this mountain here on the bottom won't be seen anyway. But for aesthetics, I'll kind of a little bit of glycerin still trying to hang on, which is why I'm able to do what I'm doing here. And all this down here is just, that can be easily just faded out. It doesn't matter. This is not the important part down here. This can just easily just go away. Doesn't matter. Okay. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second or two. All right. That's basically about it for that anyway. All right, we're gonna keep this party rolling. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit of, let's see, get a little bit of that brown there. Put it right around in here. All the rest of this I'll probably wipe up and clean up a little bit. Don't need too much of this anymore. A little bit of that modeling place with this paint here. We're gonna put a little white in there just to brighten it up a little bit. Start making interesting pockets of rocks and such in the mountain. Okay, we'll give it a nice little cut across. That might be a little much. We'll see what that does. All right. Well, we know where the light source is coming from, so we'll aim toward that way. Very, very light touch. See, I'd rather do a little bit at a time. So once it breaks apart, it looks more natural. Bring it on down. Don't try to force it. If some don't show or doesn't rub off, that's fine. And it is okay. Come over here, add some down here. Just like so. I think you guys can still see what I'm doing here. That's cool. Oh, we'll give it a little peek here. We'll go kind of around and then go back in. Oh, we'll kind of give it a little shadow or something over here. Not much over here. So we will just kind of have him break up this way, like that. There. Okay. A little more white. Lightly wipe across. Might be a little too much. Let's get that a little thinner. The reason why I feel it might be too much is because I'm not working on a large canvas. And there we go. Now the modeling paste on here will tack up on you rather quickly. Don't press too hard. A couple of light little strokes will do you. Now it's adding a little texture to this fellow. So your palette knife is actually picking up the paint from the previous paint that's on here. Well, we'll have that travel a little bit, break that up a little bit more. Let's spread that out a little bit better. Add a couple of those around in here too. Just like that. Not too much, really. Let's go with our blue. Bring the blue into the white a little bit. Don't completely blend it, marble it a little bit. All right. We could go a little darker with that, a little deeper. So let's do it that way. Something like that. Maybe even a little bit of brown in there will grade up a little bit. See what that does. I still think it can be a little darker, but we'll see what happens. I just go down and go on the other way, just like that. And then we'll break that up a little bit. Come up and give it a little curve there. Just bring some of that in the inside there, like that. You get to mold it and shape it any way you feel comfortable. And let's make that a little uneven there. You don't want it to be an exact. You don't want it to look too clean. Something like that. Boy, I hope people are looking. I guess they are. Maybe. Can't tell. Hope you guys aren't buffering. Then, like I said, I don't think nobody knows that I'm actually on. Which is, like I say, that's fine. I don't think I gave anybody really any notice. I know I wasn't planning on it, but you know, gotta test it sometime, right? Okay. I think that will somewhat work. I'm still looking at it, see if there's anything else I can do with this. Like I said, I think it seems to be okay. Adding some residual light here and there for it. Okay, I think that's cool. Getting a little bit of the brown here, just to darken it up a little bit. Don't know if I want it purple. Not too much purple. Something a little interesting going this way. Like that, kind of cap it. Bring it toward that direction a little bit. All right, we'll leave it be. Stop playing around with it. All right, let's play with a little bit of action with some trees here and there. But before I do that, let's I'm gonna use just the corner of the brush here. A little bit of white, a little bit of blue, maybe a slight touch of glycerin in there. And we're gonna go well below the clouds here. We'll just put it right up in here. Or not below the clouds, well below the mountain, I meant to say. A little white, little blue. Corner of the brush. Just something like that. A little bit of white, we'll put some white in there. Mix it in there. Now it's gotta still maintain its glycerin and a little bit of wetness in there. Okay. And I'll just take this corner. And get some mist going in there. Just like that. Not necessarily all over the place, but just where it can be barely seen there. Okay, don't worry about all this down here. All this down here I'm not worried about. All this. That I'm not worried. It's just all that up here. Just wiping paint off my brush here. Just like that, little mist here and there. Don't, obscure a little bit of the amount. You need the smallest amount of white. Couple bits of white on the brush there. Little pockets of white. Just like that. Let it blend into the color a little bit. Keep it in a circular motion. Just like that. Smooth it out just a little bit. All right, but that's all I really need for that section. We're gonna take this, starting to sweat here, it's getting pretty warm. I'm gonna take this same brush, and we're gonna get into some nice deep color right up around in here. A little bit of red, a little bit of blue. I gotta bring my brown back. Let's shake it up this time. We'll put a little bit there, and we'll put a little bit in there. Just like that. Okay. Slap some blue in there. There. Because it gives me a slight tinge of green. But this is just the heavy body color. The base color. Okay, and here we go. We'll just bulk out some stuff here, just like that. All up in here. Keep them fairly thin, and kind of pop some up in there like that. Maybe one in there. Coming down here like that. Well, here, I'll show you how far I'm going with this. See that? All in there. Just like that. Getting some more of that color. And we'll start popping these in there like this. I can start like really bulking in that color. Get some more of that dark. A little bit of red, a little bit of blue, a little bit of that brown, put it in there. Get plenty of it, more brown. Just kill off some of that purple. Put that green back in there. Get a little tint of green in there. Okay. There we go. Put one tall one right there. We're gonna slowly inch these guys back up there. Let's get some more paint. We're gonna inch these guys right back up there, just like that. Put one way up here, like that. Put another tall one in there like that. And one right in the edge there. But all that gets covered here. Just like that. Don't wipe. Don't, like you're painting the side of a wall, don't do that. Just what I'm doing right here. Just like that. Put it right in there. Kind of uneven. Even in the values in this, uneven. All right. Okay. Nice. Okay. Like I said, this is kind of my go-to brush. This is kind of unnerving. Let's see if I can do something here. Maybe with this one I can. Yeah, I know it's live. See if it's gonna do it again for me. Can I do? Oh, it did do it. There we go. I'll just put it right in there like that. See if it'd do it. I should have did it with the other. Should do with the other PC, the other phone. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, that one's too unpredictable. Tablet's too unpredictable. I forgot I have to write something. All right. No, I don't. There we go. Just post it. Well, while it's doing that, I'm going to go to my, use this round brush. Okay, let's get our palette knife back because I need this same color here. We're going to put this in a nice little mound. Get this color, we'll put it right there. All right. You gonna play? Yeah, it's gonna be a little slow. I'm getting a little water. Put the water into this dark mix. All right, all these little stem things you see, let's get a little closer. Oh, now you guys get to see how I zoom in all the time. We'll keep it right about there. All right, here we go. We're gonna take these and we're just gonna kind of embrace all that there. Just make little leaf marks there, just like that. Thing is, you're gonna need plenty of water with this thick paint. Almost to an inky consistency. On the other side, add a little bit. They tend to get a little larger as you come down more and more. So I think you guys can pretty much get the gist of what I'm doing. These take a little time, but they look so cool. Okay, bulk them out. A little bit on this side, a little bit on the other. Keep some of that color in between them. Okay. I kind of like my trees a little thick in the middle. Don't entirely block out everything. It's more of the image of the pine trees there. But basically, I want Mr. Mountain. See, we know the mountain's there, but it's mysterious. You just want to show just enough of that mountain. Okay. Now, where some of the paint is still wet, just use thicker paint. See, that's all. Because glycerin does not dry like water. So where you feel there might be a little thicker paint, you just put it on a little thicker, go in the kind of the general direction of where you want these guys to be. Just like that. Go on the other side a little bit. Just make sure you pay attention to more or less your composition and anything. So as you're doing it, look at the whole picture. Most of you don't have like an external monitor or doing stuff like I'm doing, so you might want to just step back a bit. I could just look at the monitor over there and see what it truly looks like. Okay. So our dimension and depth will actually be in the trees. Follow me. Now, once I get this stuff to an inky consistency, you'll really start to see little changes and such. Okay. I know you guys are probably hearing, what is that, Wheel of Fortune or something like that. Not really my most favorite show, but I'm not going to get up off the chair to change the channel. Why do I have the TV on in the background? It's just background noise. And plus, you know, you can whistle a tune and get a copyright strike, so you know how that goes. Just got to be a little careful. I have to announce that I'm back on for my Wednesday nights. I did not mention it because, once again, I did not really plan on coming on tonight, but no time like the present to test this stuff out, you know. As I'm looking at this, I got 3 monitors going. So I'm just looking at the latency. I'm looking at the bit rate, quality, everything. That seems to look fine. Seems to be doing okay when it comes to all of that. So this is truly a test indeed. The only thing that seems to be failing so far, as I know, is my tablet. My unit here, it can take either Wi-Fi or the Ethernet cable, and I got it hooked for the Ethernet cable. So the bit rate is changing, but not below an unacceptable number. You're not, like I said, I don't think it's going to freeze on you. But as you can see, I'm just adding, which would look like pine-like shapes, but I don't have to fill up everything. And these pines, the way I'm designing them, are a little thinner, but when grouped together, it looks extremely detailed. Okay, it takes a little more time to do them, but I'm just showing you techniques that will help you in making a painting that hopefully you and the family would enjoy. And you don't have to be too painstaking with doing them. You know, I'm doing these for the painters that like to paint every once in a while, want to do a little something on the weekend. Or, you know, they're retirees, they can have something to, I'm giving them techniques where they can pretty much, once you get accustomed to the techniques, you paint whatever you want. Because what I'm doing here can be used for other things besides medium pine trees. It is very important for me to keep the middles solid. You got me. And kind of flare out the outside. Okay. So I don't know if anybody's going to pop in or not. I did share it out a little. So I'll make an announcement when I'm done with this, that the Wednesday nights, fingers crossed, will be back on a more consistent, steady basis. And as I'm chatting with you here, just working on getting this all finished up here. At least this row of trees. There's going to be a darker row of trees in the front. But they won't be as plentiful as these guys in the back, because I still want to keep the semblance of some of that background back there. And if you see, I'm still keeping, well, we're gonna make that solid. Still keeping some of that background showing there. I'm just dipping into some heavier paint. I'm pretty sure you guys can see it through the monitor there on the bottom. It's got this thicker paint right here. It's barely, I can barely see what my paintbrush is doing there. There we go. There we go. Something like so. I'm just getting a little bit of water to loosen up some of that paint. And I'm trying to do it in a way where it's not going to thin the paint too much. And as you see, I'm doing the leaves in a way where you can still see some of that brightness in between them. Okay. Pop one right up in here like so. Okay. Nice. I think I'm gonna put a wall Kmart eagle in there. That's what I call them anyway. You'll see how I do the Kmart eagle. Let's get a little bit of blue. Let's put up a little bit of red in there. Let's at least get a deep maroon here. I don't think I got enough brown to add in there. All right. And at this stage, while I am remembering, I'll pop one in here. I'll put it right here. $8,500. I'll give them kind of a wingspan here. There, give them a nice little wingspan there. This is the easiest part of the eagle, right here. Easiest part of the eagle right there. Okay, let's put some even darker ones in there. Okay, I don't think they're going to be as tall, but put something in front with a little bit of body to them. All right, and then we can call this paint call it a day with this painting. Let me get a flat brush. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to stretch and reach for one. I don't particularly have one here that I would like to use. Not that I can see right now. Therefore, I might have to do that stretching thing and hope I don't fall out of the chair. I don't see the brush that I'm looking for. Maybe I can get away with it with these. Can I get away with you? Let's see, let's wet it up. Let's see what happens. I don't think this is gonna work very well. I might be able to get away with it. Let's see. We're gonna find out right now. Get a lot of blue, get a little bit of red, just like that. And we're gonna have to dirty this with some brown, because we definitely need a deep color, much darker. Okay, and we're gonna stir it in here. Blend it right in, just like that. Put it right in there. Need plenty of it. I do believe I may have succeeded, maybe. I'm looking at it here. Yeah, it can do for a little bit more blue. It has to be dark, because I got greenish, really deep green. Actually, you can't even put a nickname to it. It's just a very deep green. So I'm gonna add a little bit of blue in that. All right, because I need it deeper. Stir it really well. That might work. That might work just fine. Now that I got plenty of it too. Okay. It's keeping somewhat of a nice sharp edge there. Let's see if you can see it here. If I can position it right. See that? There you go, set. All right, but that's what we're looking for. All right, let's have a little fun here. About midway, we'll pop one right up in there like that. And as I'm doing it, I'm just gonna tap it on the sides like that. Now, as I keep doing it, it's just going to get more and more woolly. So I want to try to, knock a tall one out right. Let's straighten that brush. I'm gonna show you, because even though we got, some tall ones back there, it's good to have one just like so. Look at this. Be very gentle. Okay. I am still tapping, just like that. This is why you need it much darker, because now, even though I'm doing it like this, there, at least I got a tall one in there. I'll probably eke out another one, but I'll show you, because it's very, just like that. And where they join, where it gets fairly deep and dark at, is also important. You want the bulk of the tree to be a little bit lower. Okay, and when you use a brush like this, equally on both sides, so you get a nice deep edge. Okay, you can vary the sizes, but like I say, these guys are fairly thin, and you can kind of monkey around with it a little bit, because I already know where the density is going to be on this group of trees here. Okay, so all the dense colors will pretty much be down in here like this, just like that. Okay, now with all of this deep color here, we're going to start popping in those narrow trees there, just like that. And don't be so concerned about the guys in the back. Placement is everything, true. Okay, so just be careful, because if you got them coming in front of the shorter trees, make sure they're very pronounced. Okay, and sometimes it just takes a few taps, just like that. Well-placed taps. I'm going in a reverse direction here, and keep them as straight as possible. So they must be very dark and straight as you can get them. Just like that. And your eyes will do the rest. See? Your eyes will do the rest. I'm just straightening out that brush. Okay, but you can clearly see that there are two rows of very deep trees. Let's get one by this eagle here, like this. Give it a little stronger touch. These trees are a little thicker. Add that detail. Even though it's dark in there, you still got to add that detail. Okay. And they can get a little taller here. About maybe right there. Just like that. Put one in there like this, a little crooked in there. Put a monster right here. Just like that. Put a nice sized fella in there. Keep that darkness in it. You distinctly see two different trees there, two different sets of trees. Okay. Keep it pretty dark right up in there. All right. All of that sets that mountain back. All right. So every bit of buildup coming towards us. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're very late, Billy. How are you, sir? It's all right. Not too many people knew that I was gonna be on. And actually, I came on almost a full hour ago, earlier, which is not normally my thing. But as you can see, a different getup. Okay, I'm pretty sure you hear me pretty well. Also, if I would have known this, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would still be using my old unit. This is the newer unit, but everything's still the same. Except for the setup that the camera that I'm looking at you with here is a webcam, and I can hook up the webcam, and I can hook I can actually hook another camera to this. I can probably hook about 5 cameras on this unit, on this setup, but that's not really needed. I get people let me know if this vantage point is okay or not. It's not too intrusive to what's going on here. Okay, I can do multiple setups with what you see right now. With this setup, the photo itself is condensed, but you really can't tell and you probably wouldn't tell unless I showed it to you of what it actually looks like. Really, I think I got enough room for really another tree in here. But I end up, I'll just use this for, I might have just enough of this paint left, maybe. Let's see if I can pull it off, but there is enough room. And then I'm gonna show you what it looks like in a frame and call it a day. Yes, I can pop one right there. I knew it. I knew one could get in there, just like that. Okay. Just like that. I knew I could squeeze one in there. All right, let's whack a frame on it, as a buddy of mine would say, and we'll call it a day. Like I say, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me. I did do an audio test, so I'm pretty sure we're good. Okay, and actually, I can actually shut this bottom one off if I want it, but all right, let's throw a frame on it. I usually throw the brown one on first. So let's reach back and center this. Now you guys get to see how I do that. That should be enough, because usually I peel the tape off, but that won't be necessary. There is one more thing I do have to do. My signature. We'll throw it right here on the corner. Well, we'll put it up here somewhere like that. So for those of you who might be checking this out much later than right now, thank you very much. I do appreciate you for at least watching it. I know I didn't give much warning that I was going to be on tonight. So hopefully I'll advertise enough and there'll be some people here next week. First painting of the month. Go figure, right? Already in the middle of the month, right? Incredible. All right. So that settles that part. I'm just checking out something because I did not have, thanks Billy, I didn't have let's see if we can do it here. This is my tablet that I'm messing with right now. It may pop up, it might not, we'll see. Anyway, let's see what it looks like with a nice brown frame on it. It looks something like so. All right. I'm just looking at the monitor. Yeah, you can tell it's kind of scrunched in, but that's all right. Let's see what it looks like with the black black frame's pretty much closer to the size of this this paper. So I'm impartial. I guess they both look okay. I'm impartial to the brown frame myself, but you know. Okay, but there it is, and if I want to see the signature, it would look more or less like that. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this. I do appreciate it. I have a small electronic keyboard that controls everything. This little guy right here. All right, which is why I'm looking down. All right. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Once again, thank you guys for donating and buying my paintings so I can actually get this other webcast or have myself up and running. I'm doing this more or less for you guys anyway, and I do appreciate it. So hopefully I will get to see you guys next Wednesday, and I'll advertise it and all of that good stuff. Let's see if I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. I'll advertise it and all that, and I shall see you when I see you. Until next time, peace.